guys, my name's Savannah.
And I'm Morgan.
Today we're going to be talking about
Kim Reynolds' first bill as governor. So Kim Reynolds is Iowa's first female governor, and this is her first legislative bill, so it's kind of a big deal.
She's also up for re-election this November, so this is the only session she has to sign any bills into law to run her campaign on. And the first bill that she passed was a water quality bill, and it was $282 million over a period of 12 years, I think.
Yeah. And I think the way money's broken up, each year it increases. So this year won't be as much as it will in 2019, 2020.
Yeah. Every year it's going to go up a little bit. But the opinions on this bill are across a very wide spectrum. Some people love it, which would be Governor Reynolds, and some people absolutely hate it. And then most people probably fall somewhere else on that spectrum.
Okay, so today's video we're going to talk about just where the money's split and everybody's opinions on it. So the $282 million is split two ways. It's split $156 million of it is going to cover crops, bioreactors, watersheds, wetlands, and a bunch of other stuff. And then the other $126 million is going to cities and utilities for the water filtering and cleanup.
So we're going to break down what that means, because that you probably heard some things you're like, huh? Because that's how we felt when we read this. Cover crops are things that you can plant in your field when you're not growing corn or soybeans. And then throughout winter, when rain comes or snow comes, less soil erosion, which is where soil gets carried away with the water into our rivers, lakes, and streams. So that's going to limit the amount of fertilizer, nitrates, phosphorus entering into our rivers, lakes, and streams, which is a good thing.
Cover crops help to stabilize the soil, prevent runoff, and both binding the soil together, improving its structure. Cover crops also help fix the nitrogen levels in the soil.
Buffer strips are things... Sorry, we learned about this in AP Environmental Science. Buffer strips are plants that are native to Iowa that you would plant on the edge of your field. And so as the water's washing away from rain or snow into the a river or stream along your field, it would go through these natural plants first that are native to Iowa, and they naturally just soak up that phosphorus, that nitrates, and you're good to go, and it doesn't even enter the rivers, lakes, and streams.
Mm-hmm. Conservation buffers are small areas or strips of land in permanent vegetation designed to intercept pollutants and manage other environmental concerns. Strategically placed buffer strips in the agricultural landscape can effectively mitigate the movement of sediment, nutrients, and pesticides within farm fields and from farm fields. All right, so another term that's kind of confusing is a bioreactor. So a bioreactor tile redirects water to an underground source where wood chips are that help filter out all of the nitrates and phosphorus before they enter our waterways and soil. A bioreactor is an edge-of-field treatment process that allows the producer to reduce the amount of nitrate leaving the field from a tile line and therefore improving water quality of the receiving stream. It consists of a buried pit filled with a carbon source such as wood chips through which tile water is diverted. The carbon produces a food source for microorganisms that use the nitrate to metabolize the carbon, converting the nitrate to harmless atmospheric nitrogen and to gas. Bioreactors can reduce nitrate by an average of 43%.
So the things we just listed and gave you some vocab for are just a couple ways for farmers to limit their phosphorus and nitrate additions to our rivers, lakes, and streams.
There are also several other ways that this money is being spent. Check the links in our description to learn more.
And that's where a good chunk of this $256 million is going. The other money, though, is going to cities and utilities.
So that other $126 million is going towards cities and utilities. So when we look at the breakdown, it's about 40, 45, and 15. So the 40% goes to water treatment facilities and then
disadvantaged communities.
So if you look back on one of our previous videos where we talked about nitrates, we talked about communities like Griswold and Cedar Rapids that they can't afford to pay for the nitrate removal systems that they need. So that 40% of that $126 million will go towards helping underadvantaged communities. And then 45% of it goes to loans for helping to improve underwater treatment facilities.
15% is to decrease soil erosion and stormwater discharge. Yeah. So that's the breakdown of the money that's going to cities and utilities. However, a lot of people don't think that's enough money, especially because it's spread out over such a long time for it to make any impact.
So a lot of people think, like what Savannah said, is that this is definitely a good step in the right direction. It's just that we're not taking enough action into it.
Yeah, there was a quote from the head of the Iowa Environmental Council, and she said it's kind of like taking a pile of money and throwing it at a problem. We're not putting all of our money into one problem and fixing it. We're not fixing farms that should have buffer strips and just giving all of the money there. We're just spreading it out, and we're kind of spreading it so thin that it's probably not going to make much of an impact. I think that's especially what environmentalists think.
And then definitely another big part of this is that a lot of this is not being, there's no set schedule. So this money is going out there, but we're not telling people you have to have this done by this day.
No deadlines.
And there's no, checking up on that. So it's going to be hard to figure out, where this money's really going and what this money has really impacted.
And this should be a big issue for voters coming up in November, because it's our tax money, as taxpayers, that's paying for this money. So as voters, we should want to know where our money's being spent and know that it's being regulated. And I'm not old enough to vote in this election.
Neither am I.
But I'm going to be knocking on those doors because I pay taxes. I have a part-time job. I want to know where my taxes are going. I really do.
I mean, it's something to consider as if you're a teenager, a kid, an adult, a grandparent, to where your taxes are going. It's something to consider that we don't really think about much, and it's important to know where our money is going.
And it's
give your representative a call and let them know how you feel, because this is affecting you. It's affecting your daily life as you're paying money for taxes and you're drinking water in the state of Iowa. So the water you're drinking has gone through filtration, and it could even have nitrates in it depending on where you are.
Right. I think that it's important to note that environmentalists aren't the only group that doesn't like this bill. Taxpayers, environmentalists, but also the farm leaders in our state, the Iowa Soybean Association, Iowa pork producers. Those are just two examples of big groups of farmers in the state of Iowa that don't feel like this bill was discussed enough or given enough money and resources to make an impact. All Iowans want to drink clean, safe water, and
Yeah, this definitely affects us in the present and affects us in the future, and we have to think forward. And to think forward, we have to think clean, and that involves our drinking water.
So we're going to talk about this. Comment down below. Let's get this conversation going.
Yes, and I'll leave some links in the description for you guys to read.
Yeah.
If you want to learn more.
All right, bye guys.
Bye guys.
Oh. I don't know.
I can edit
We're
this out.
gonna, yeah.
This is editing, so
Next,
Morgan,
just
when
say
you edit
what a
this.
bioreactor is.